Today on The Young and the Restless, Sally and Adam clear the air, Chance grills Summer, and Abby reacts to Tucker's proposal. As Sharon gabbers to baby Aria about the bottle of champagne, someone watches her. Adam enters the coffee shop and Sharon shows off the baby. Sally arrives through the patio and listens as Adam tells Sharon, "I don't know how to be a girl dad." At Society, Nick spots Victor, who asks his son to join him. Nick is just picking up food to take home to Christian. Victor applauds his parenting skills. Nick would rather talk about his parenting skills. "I'm referring to another one of your children." He tells his father that Victoria and Nate are now involved. He runs down his concerns. "It's not right. It's not safe for her, Dad, or for Newman Enterprises." At Newman Enterprises, Nate and Victoria discuss an acquisition. Victoria generally gets what she wants. Nate muses, "It is your superpower." Nate gets a text and seems off after. He tells Victoria that it was Elena asking him to send her things to a storage facility. He feels responsible for what happened and sometimes the guilt is intense. He goes over them losing the bond of working in the medical field. "But I've got to own that I cheated on her." The wound will keep getting reopened as people ask, "Why?" Victoria wonders if he'll change his mind about them. Nate says, "Absolutely not," and kisses her. Nate's not proud of how things went down with Elena, but he doesn't hold Victoria responsible. She says she's a little responsible. He muses, for being irresistible. They decide to go get a drink. At the jazz lounge, Ashley, Tucker, and Devin compliment Abby on the atmosphere of the place. The piano player launches into a song and Tucker asks a surprised Abby to dance. As they take the floor, Abby shoots her mother a look and Devin does too. On the dance floor, Abby thought Tucker would have been exhausted after Dom's music group. He counters that their energy made him feel invigorated. He knows she's not keen on him spending time with her boy or her mother. He likes that she's so protective. Tucker wishes there was some way to convince her that he's changed. Abby says she's dancing with him, which is a big step. Tucker tells her he loves her mother. Abby's not ready to hear declarations like that. Tucker guesses she didn't tell her that he proposed then. Tessa finishes her champagne and says, "I'm going to take care of a few things. Maria will pay the check." They stand up and Maria says, "We are absolutely doing this," and they kiss. Perfect scheme team. Sally and Adam from The Young and Restless are made for each other. In the GCAC dining room, Tessa and Mariah resolve not to head home early to relieve Sharon. They decide it will make them better moms to relax. Maria recalls that the only reason they have their daughter at home is because they fell in love. At the Abbott mansion, Summer answers the door to Chance, who tells her that Jack called him with a new development. "Do you know anything about that?" Summer looks concerned. She learns that Jack found evidence that her mother is alive. Chance says Christine thinks it's a bluff. If this is a ploy, it's extremely unfair to her. Summer assures him that he doesn't have to worry about protecting her feelings anymore. "It's true. My mom is definitely alive out there." Chance wonders exactly when she decided that. At Crimson Lights, Sharon gives Adam the rundown on raising a girl as Sally listens. He hopes this daughter will inherit some of his mother's qualities along with Sally's incredible soul. Sharon thinks he must want her to have something of his. Adam says, "Maybe my chin and my impeccable sense of timing." He thinks raising boys is easier. Sharon thinks he'll be just as good a dad to his baby girl. Sally steps out of the patio and says, "I agree." She marvels over the baby and Adam steps away to text. Sally and Sharon coo over Aria and Sally and Adam steal looks at each other. Adam listens as Sharon reassures Sally, who asks if she thinks the baby knows about the conflict around her. Sharon coaches her to set aside her concerns and enjoy this time. Sally exhales. Sharon excuses herself to go to the back room and asks Sally to mind Aria for a minute. Adam walks over and tells Sally, "I hate that you feel uncomfortable around me all over again." Sally says she's not, but he knows her. Sharon's right. You deserve to experience and enjoy this time with a life growing inside of you. He hates that he's making it hard. Adam knows that she cares about Nick, and she deserves that affection, but she can't deny the fact that the baby bonds them. They're the only two people in the world who can understand. He wants them to enjoy the baby without feeling self-conscious and uncomfortable. In a suite, Mariah, wearing a silk robe, lights candles and fluffs up the pillows on the bed. Tessa emerges from the other room and kisses her neck. Mariah kisses her wrist, and then they make out before removing each other's robes and kissing some more. They fall onto the bed together to make love. At the Abbott mansion, Chance is puzzled by Summer suddenly being fully on board with her mother being alive. Summer has had time to think and had another conversation with her brother, who wouldn't lie about something like this. Chance muses that a lot is happening. Summer wants him to admit that he thinks her mom is alive too. Chance will be honest with her if she is honest with him. In the jazz lounge, Devin tells Ashley he was surprised to hear that she asked Tucker to move in with her. Ashley says he's always surprising her, but in good ways lately. Just then, Abby walks up and blurts, "Is it true? Did Tucker propose? Please tell me that you haven't said yes." Tucker tells Ashley he didn't know it was supposed to be a secret. "I love you and want to marry you," he says, throwing up his hands. "You'd make me the happiest man in the world if you said yes." At Society, Nick tells his father that Nate nearly destroyed Chancellor Winters while he was there. If he could turn on Lily and Devin, why wouldn't he turn on them? He continues on to say that Victoria has never had good judgment when it comes to men. Victor argues that Nate is not Billy Boy Abbott, Ashlyn Locke, or JT. Victoria has her eyes wide open. He finds it ironic that he'd lash out at his sister's relationship when he looks askance at anyone who questions him and Sally. Victor happens to think both dalliances will end soon. Nick tells him he's wrong. "Sally and I are solid. I'm not walking away from her." As far as Nate goes, if he proves himself to have no agenda and they build a healthy relationship, then so be it. But I know that's not going to happen. At the GCAC, Nate and Victoria have a drink at the bar. He gets up and walks to the stairs, looking back at her. She follows him to his suite where they start kissing and ripping each other's clothes off. They fall onto the bed and roll around as they make love. At the Abbott mansion, Chance thinks Summer is hiding something from him. Summer just wants to know what they can do to help her mother. Chance asks, "We?" Summer needs someone on her team that will help her. Stark coerced her into making this move against Diane. If Chance can get the facts, he will do everything he can. Summer can't lose her to prison. At Crimson Lights, Sally tells Adam he's right and apologizes for asking him to keep his distance. Adam hasn't let go of loving her and he never will. Being around her is hard for him, and that's not fair to her. It causes stress and the baby can pick up on that. Sally asks how they work through this. Adam says they have to find a way to get through this for the sake of their family, however unconventional it may be. Sally wonders if he can do that while still respecting her boundaries. Adam sees that she doesn't think he can. In their suite after sex, Nate and Victoria huff and puff over how good it was. They kiss and Nate gets a text. It's from Audra. He turns off his phone and asks, "Where were we?" In the jazz lounge, Ashley tells Abby the proposal wasn't real. She explains the fake engagement idea to steal Jack and Diane's thunder. Tucker pipes up that the proposal was genuine. He was hoping the fake engagement would turn into the real thing. Ashley says there is no engagement. Abby's relieved and Devin thinks it would be a little fast. Tucker chuckles that they're not exactly strangers. If he had his way, he'd blow Ashley's mind with the most spectacular proposal, so she couldn't say no. He tells the concerned faces not to worry, it's not going to happen tonight. Devin's glad it's not happening. Ashley and Tucker decide to let them have their night and take off. Devin tells Abby, "I don't know how to feel about that." Abby thinks it's so weird. In their suite, Tessa and Mariah are in the afterglow and talk about their beautiful baby and motherhood. Tessa loves that they rented a room for sex on the spur of the moment to remind them of how hot they were. She wants to do it again. They weren't raised by parents who loved them or each other. I really want that for our daughter. Mariah assures her that Aria will have that. They're going to raise a wonderful little girl who will turn into an amazing woman. They both say, like her mother, laugh, and kiss. At the Abbott mansion, Chance asks Summer what she and Daniel have been arguing about. She complains about the tense situation and him seeing their mom and not telling her. Chance says, "Or you two have known about Phyllis for longer than you've let on." He saw them arguing at Crimson Lights, and Daniel's been just as evasive as she's been. He's felt like they've been pulling for information. He thought Daniel was worried about Diane getting off, but it makes more sense that he was worried about Diane going to jail for a crime she didn't commit. He guesses the two of them have been trying to figure out how to handle this. Phyllis framed Diane and murdered Stark. Summer says, "That's quite a theory." Chance wants to help, but he needs all the facts. I think there's a lot more to this story that I haven't heard yet. At the jazz lounge, Devin and Abby slow dance and kiss. While in the corner, Ashley takes Tucker to task for telling her daughter about his proposal. He asks, "What kind of proposal would you like? I can see where this is going." She remarks on his dangerous level of confidence. He grits, "Humor me." Ashley doesn't want anything flashy or extravagant, but she likes surprises. It would have to be intimate and meaningful. That's all I would need. At the Abbott mansion, Summer doesn't know why Chance is interrogating her. Chance insists he wants to help. It would be good if someone other than Daniel saw Phyllis to confirm she's alive. It's hard for her to believe that she would reach out to Daniel and not her. Summer reminds him they were fighting. Chance says, "You saw her too, didn't you? And you kept that from your husband. You were prepared to let his mother go on trial for a murder you knew she didn't commit." In Crimson Lights, Adam knows he needs to let go of a romantic future for himself and Sally. He'll do the emotional work since nothing is more important than caring for the baby. Sharon reappears and Sally tells her Aria's an angel. She hopes their daughter has a similar temperament. She leaves and Sharon asks Adam if everything is okay. He says they'll get there. He spots the bottle of champagne and asks if she's celebrating something. Sharon explains that she doesn't know who sent it. Adam wishes he'd thought of it. He knows she went in the back to give them some space. He tells her she deserves to enjoy it. As Sharon tells Adam there's something about the champagne that's familiar, but she can't place it. Someone watches through the door while sinister music plays. Adam tells Sharon it sounds like a secret admirer from the past.